50 billion views. Let that number sit with you for a moment. 50 billion views. That is the number of times humans across this planet have chosen to sit down and watch one man's videos. Not a corporation. Not a studio. One person, Jimmy Donaldson, a kid from Greenville, North Carolina, who started filming himself alone in his bedroom. But here is what they don't put in the highlight reels. Every empire has a shadow side. Every record-breaking success story has a cost. And the bigger the empire, the darker the shadow. Today, we are going somewhere most channels won't go. We are going inside. To understand what is happening now inside MrBeast's world, you need to understand how it was built. Most people think MrBeast got lucky. That is the comfortable version of the story. The real version is darker. From age 13, Jimmy was obsessed, not with fame, not with money, but with cracking the algorithm. He watched thousands of hours of YouTube. He studied thumbnails like a scientist. He posted videos that got almost 0 views for years. 4 years. But behind that persistence was something else. Something the motivational clips never show you, an almost inhuman standard. Not just for himself, for everyone around him. Former employees and collaborators have described working for MrBeast as, and these are their words, the most intense experience of their professional lives. 12-hour days were normal. Reshoots happened constantly. Scripts were rewritten hours before filming. And if the content wasn't perfect, they started over. On the outside, this looked like dedication. And it was. But dedication at what cost? Now this is where the story gets interesting. MrBeast doesn't operate alone. He never did. Around him exists a tight inner circle, producers, editors, directors, talent scouts, people who have access to the real Jimmy. Not the camera Jimmy. The 3 a.m., we need to reshoot everything Jimmy. And the stories from people who have been inside that circle paint a complicated picture. On one hand, loyalty. MrBeast is known for taking care of the people closest to him. He has helped friends buy houses, pay off debts, build their own channels. The generosity you see on camera is real. That part is not a performance. But on the other hand, pressure. An unrelenting, suffocating pressure to perform. To innovate. To always be bigger than the last video. You may have already seen glimpses of this tension. Remember the Rakai situation? When a new personality enters MrBeast's orbit, the audience reaction is immediate and brutal. Online communities dissect every word, every reaction, every perceived disrespect. We covered the Rakai and iShow speed drama on this channel, and the response from you was enormous. Because people sense it. They sense that there is something beneath the surface of this empire. Something real. Something unscripted. And they are right. In 2023 and 2024, something shifted. The videos kept breaking records. The subscriber count kept climbing. But behind the scenes, reports began to surface. Not from journalists. Not from tabloids. From people who had been there. One account described a culture where mistakes were not tolerated. Where the standard was so high that even successful videos were treated as failures if they underperformed expectations. Where the question was never did we do good, but always why wasn't it better? Another described an environment where the line between content and reality had blurred almost completely. Where real human moments, struggle, conflict, vulnerability, were framed as entertainment opportunities. Where the algorithm's appetite had to be fed, no matter what. Now, we are not here to destroy a legacy. We are here because this is what cinematic truth-telling requires, looking at the full picture. MrBeast has given millions of dollars to strangers. He has built schools. He has funded surgeries. These are facts. But the question this investigation is asking is deeper. What does it cost to maintain that level of output? What does it do to the people inside? And what does it do to the audiences, millions of young people, who are watching all of this and learning what success is supposed to look like? Because that question matters. Let me tell you about a pattern. Across multiple accounts from people who worked in or adjacent to MrBeast's operation, a few themes keep appearing. First, the concept of MrBeast time. For those inside the production, time operated differently. Deadlines were set, and then shattered by the sheer ambition of the content. What was supposed to take a week took a month. What was supposed to be simple became massive. Second, the weight of the audience. When you are creating for 50 billion eyeballs, the audience becomes a pressure of its own. Every comment, every like, every metric. It stops being feedback and starts being a verdict. And third, perhaps the most revealing, the departure pattern. People who leave MrBeast's inner circle rarely talk publicly. There is no angry expose, no viral Twitter thread. They simply disappear from the frame. And that silence? That silence tells its own story. We have seen this pattern before in our investigations on this channel. Whether it is lottery systems designed to target the vulnerable, or the price of overnight celebrity, or the illusion of spontaneous viral moments, the story behind the story is always more complex than what you see on screen. MrBeast is not a villain in this story, but he may be a mirror. A mirror reflecting what happens when the internet's hunger for content meets one human being's limitless ambition. So what do we do with all of this? Because here is the truth, MrBeast did not create the system. He mastered it. And in mastering it, he revealed something uncomfortable about all of us. We watch. We click. We engage. We celebrate the giveaway without asking who paid for it. We cheer the record without asking what was sacrificed. We consume the content without ever seeing the machine behind it. And that makes us part of the story. This is what Sammy's Atelier exists to do. Not to tear down. Not to worship. But to go where the cameras stop rolling and ask the questions that matter. Because where cinema meets truth, the story is never simple. If this investigation opened your eyes, subscribe. Share this with someone who only knows the highlight reel. And drop your thoughts in the comments. Because this conversation is just beginning. This has been Sammy's Atelier. I'll see you in the next story.